Okay, welcome everybody. It's glad to have everybody here. Welcome to the Open Web Foundry session, NFTs on Arweave. We're also going to be having events at every time this week, so be sure to RSVP to the ad event links we've been sending out via email, Discord, and Twitter at Open Web Foundry. And also be sure to register your project on Gitcoin if you'd like some additional support. And we'll be having a mingle session afterwards in the audience. So if you guys have any questions for myself, Al, or Kayla, we're all going to come down to the audience and we can talk afterwards. So without further delay, here's Al and Kayla with NFTs on Arweave. So enjoy, guys.
Hey, folks. I'm Al, and this is Kayla. We're from the Koi network. If you haven't heard of Koi before, we basically are building an attention economy on top of Arweave. This is sort of designed to be an incentive for people to bring lots of new content into the Arweave ecosystem, but also to try to archive all of the existing content out on the web and get it into the decentralized internet. So we have a couple treats for you today. I'll quickly show you a little bit about what we're doing at Koi. Obviously, this is after the first office hours, but we have another office hours on Thursday. The purpose of Koi is to bring all of the people who are creating content on the internet into control of the content that exists. And so this content is all stored as atomic NFTs on Arweave. Really, the whole purpose of an NFT is to own a piece of the decentralized knowledge commons. So what we do is we help a content creator publish that content and then mine Koi tokens for the amount of attention it gets. And those tokens can then be used to pay coin notes to do things like store more content. So what we will show you today is kind of the last piece of this. So a lot of people in the past have built these kind of client-server architectures where you have a server, a client, and a database. We're really of the opinion that everything should be on decentralized storage now. So the atomic NFTs are kind of the packaging that goes in there. And coin nodes let you kind of organize that. So for today's workshop, what we'll talk about is kind of how you might build a completely decentralized version of GatherTown. Like if you wanted all these little chairs and couches and all this stuff to be NFTs, like how would you do that on Arweave? So I'll show very quickly where you can find the docs for this stuff. And then I'm going to hand it over to Kayla to do a demo of the Finny wallet. And after that, we'll come back and I'll give you guys some quick practical examples of how this stuff works under the hood. So the Atomic NFTs portal that we created has some docs. AtomicNFT.com, sorry. Has some docs on how to actually put these things together. And this is an open source portal, so if you have things that you want to change, you're welcome to do that. And it's all on our GitHub as well. So we've got all kinds of examples in here. The main thing, though, is that when you create an atomic NFT on Arweave, unlike an NFT on Ethereum, you can take the smart contract, wrap it around the media asset, and store the whole thing on chain, which is really great. So it saves you a lot of down the line headaches because your media doesn't disappear. And yeah, lots of very exciting stuff there. I think actually probably this is a good time to show off the new Finny wallet because it is probably the easiest way that you can create an atomic NFT if you're interested in this stuff. The Finny wallet also has some really cool gallery features and lets you kind of host everything in there. So Kayla, I will hand it off to you now, let you share your screen, and then I'll hop back on at the end.
Hey folks, happy to be here. My name is Kayla, and I'm the creative director with Koi. So I'm very excited to share with you our new Finny wallet. It's we're launching today, actually, the new version. And so it has a lot of that atomic NFT aspect to it. All of these NFTs that you see here are atomic NFTs because I uploaded them through Koi and they live on Arweave. You know, media files are always in with that contract, as I'm sure all of you know. But the really exciting thing, so we're talking about different types of NFTs. And so this one is it's a dynamic NFT. You can learn how to build one of these yourself on our on atomicnft.com. There's a section there about building dynamic NFTs, but this is an entirely self-contained app. So it's an HTML file that changes with attention and other different factors, like it got a Santa hat for Christmas, for example. But really what I'm here to show you is the new version of Finny. And if you're familiar with Finny, you can already see that this is very different from the old version. We've spruced it up a lot. We've made it a lot easier to interact with. One of the things I'm really excited about is our new Create NFT interface. And with that, we also have create a collection interface. So here you can create your own your own collection, which means you can upload multiple files directly from your device all at once, put them into a collection, and then like share that collection with everybody. And the way that you would do that is another NFT that we have, which is the Koi DID. So the Koi DID, your decentralized identity, is actually an NFT that lives on Arweave that has its own profile page, basically. So here I get to fill out all of my information. This is, uploaded picture, like a profile picture from my NFT gallery, a cover image from my NFT gallery. And then I can include like all of these kinds of links to have my own contact information. So then if I go to my link, which is just koi.id/whatever your username is, you see up here in the browser bar that it's actually it's an NFT that lives on Arweave itself. It gets redirected. So this will also earn attention. It's going to take a second, but you can see here that I have my own profile page. The proportions are a little wonky because we haven't actually launched the new version, but I promise that all gets fixed. And so I have my own links. So if I want to click on connect to Twitter, it takes me right to my Twitter profile, which is going to take a long time to load because Twitter. And then I have a gallery. Again, this one's a little funky because it hasn't been updated to the new version that is coming out today. But you can see all of my NFTs directly from this Koi ID profile. And then you can also, you can share your link. You can view it on the Block Explorer as well. So this is actually where my DID lives on Arweave. I have my contract. I have my state. It's all here. It shows me everything that's in that ID. And then you can directly from Finny, if I want to upload this and say, I got a new job, not obviously happening anytime soon, but or there's something else, I decided to make some NFT art, so I'm going to add that to my description. And then you can just easily, you update the changes and your DID is updated on the blockchain. So that's really cool. I think that's the big features that we wanted to share with you today, which is like creating collections, a super easy interface here for uploading your NFTs, and the DID, which we're really, really excited to launch. So thanks. I'm going to turn it, Al, I think you're muted.
That I am. Can you keep your screen share up for a second? I just want to talk about a little bit of the things you showed there. One of the really cool things about this whole like atomic NFT idea is it's kind of just a nice way of batching together little pieces of data and sort of data objects that live on Arweave. And so what we've done with the DIDs is that the DID is in fact a smart contract that has its own state object that you're updating. And so when Kayla was demonstrating how to actually submit the form within Finny, all that that's doing is just making a call to that SmartWeave contract, and it's updating the state so that the DID can present new information when somebody comes to look at it. And we see this all as kind of a really nice way to package these things, because if you think about it, all of these individual data objects are basically non-fungible assets. Each one of them kind of lives on, can be transferred if you wanted to. We've also looked at some other applications like name services more recently for these NFTs. So you can do the traditional, let's make 10,000 profile pictures, which is what we did with the Atomic Zombies, or you can do the traditional of just minting some really great art so that it gets stored on Arweave forever. But if you want to take it a step further, you can make these things very interactive and kind of embed full applications into them. So Kayla, actually, do you want to pull up the atomicnft.com really quick?
Absolutely.
Wow, internet in Chicago is slow, hey?
I think it's the gather plus the video stream plus the screen share is having a hard time. Makes sense.
And so if you wanted to learn about Atomic NFT, or Atomic NFTs rather, you can come to atomicnft.com. We really need to buy the one with the S too. And atomicnft.com has a full docs portal along with some links to our GitHub where we have examples. So we have examples for static NFTs, which is just uploading like a single image. a dynamic NFT, which has a whole application embedded inside of it, and then a number of other examples for things like DIDs that might be useful for people as well. And again, we see this as like the best way to store information on Arweave. So we've kind of made it the core of the whole Koi ecosystem. If you go to koi.rocks, which is our attention leaderboard, that also has kind of some examples of other people's NFTs that we've kind of added into the Koi ecosystem. So anything that's earning Koi tokens with attention will show up in the koi.rocks leaderboard. And this is a kind of a good way to go and look for some inspiration. There's some people that have embedded this into like blog style applications where they have the whole blog post showing up as an individual NFT on here. And they're earning Koi tokens on those as well, for example. And then I guess the kind of the long range future of these things is that, like we said at the beginning, you could, if you wanted to, build a full video game where every piece of content is NFTified in some sense. We've even looked at putting together some standards around having more like ERC 721 or ERC 1155 on the Ethereum side, if you're familiar with those. They have one contract that owns many NFTs, so you can even make it more efficient as you upload things. So we're currently experimenting with some options to do that with our DIDs. But there's a lot of ways to do this. Really, it's just a matter of can you package some media along with a SmartWeave contract and turn that into a single asset, which is not absurdly difficult to do. The last thing that I'd like to talk about very quickly is the KoiX template libraries, which you can use to deploy a NFT-based app, just like this koi.rocks portal. So you can get those on docs.koi.network, which hopefully will also load. Maybe not. There it is. So in docs.koi.network, under the template library on the left, there is a template for a leaderboard app. And that app will provide you with a fully functional, out-of-the-box NFT-based app that you can create. You could swap out the content and create Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, because all of those assets can all be NFTs on Arweave. These things are also really inexpensive to mint. It's about a penny or less usually to mint an atomic NFT. And that's with all the media being hosted on Arweave as well, so you don't have to pay the hosting fees. So I don't know if there's too much more that we need to get into during kind of the presentation component here, but we can hop off stage and we'll come chat with you guys. If we want, Jesse, we could answer some questions while we're all on stage.
I think it makes sense to just go into the audience, and then we can just each have a table, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to just come up and ask us, and we can go from there.
Great. I do want to say real quick before we go, we did just launch this new version of our docs portal. So if there's anything that you've interacted with before that wasn't totally clear, this is a good place to find all that information. There's a lot more detail. There's a lot of it, like code samples and all of that good stuff. So check it out if you have a minute.
And lots of templates as well. So it should be very quick to interact with. It should take only about 10 minutes to deploy a new app.
We have a new crowdfunding portal template that I'm very excited about
as well. Yeah, on top
just
of
gonna tease it
for sure. Okay, so we'll come talk in the audience now. Thanks, folks.
Thanks,
really
everybody.
See you guys.